very, very intentional about that because we believe that if the energy is not right and people are not sold on our vision, there was no point doing things together. One of the things that kills collaboration is when you bring unequal yokes together. Right? Once the energy is not right, people are going to fight themselves over a lot of things. And coupled with the fact that our research has shown that many of our people, have been beaten in times past. Now, one of the things that our statistics actually show, interestingly, is the fact that looks like we have the highest number of people in House of Saviours every time we talk about money and investment. That's what our data for last year clearly revealed. Right. And it's very interesting that this year we're going to focus a whole lot on that. And we start the process of partnering for success and ensuring we collaborate for bigger things. If there's any time in the world that I'm much, much more sure about the future of those of us here, it is now. I am really, really glad about the fact that someday we're going to be sponsoring events across the globe, that someday we are going to literally warehouse, the largest amount of assets for Africans. That is going to literally happen. I mean, I look at the people who are managing our funds. Dayton, thank you very much, and God's will. These are people who are driven. They understand the vision and they understand what we're trying to do. So let me welcome you. If you're here, please kindly invite your friends. That's one thing we're going to trust you to do this year. Try and invite your family, invite your friends, share the link, invite them as you, right? We need more people for us to be able to do many of the things we're trying to do, right? I'm not really a crowd person. I've always been a few people's person. People are right because, again, I love to travel very light, but then it's not about me. So please, we're going to appeal to you. We're not going to be sending a lot of broadcasts this year. We're going to appeal to you. Please invite your friends, invite your families, tell them to join our meetings. Okay. So I want to appreciate all of the leadership. Thank you. While you were on holidays, leadership, they were working around the clock because of some of the things we're going to be doing this year. So I want to appreciate all our leaders for showing up at the meetings consistently, for your input. Leaders were the ones who designed the events, all the events for the year. They were the ones who suggested the topics. They're the ones nominating the speakers. I want to appreciate all of you. I want to appreciate our Global General Secretary, Ayo. Thank you very much for all you do. I want to thank Bokun, who is the principality in Europe and UK, and then Opeyemi, who is in North America. Canada is opening up gradually. South Africa and Jamaica. Thank you very much. In Jadeka, we're waiting for your people this year. Okay, so 2024, based on the scheme of things and our 10-year projection, is actually the year of partnerships for prosperity and impact. Now, I am not a fan of 12 months calendar, never been. I'm always a long-term planner. So we're just stepping to the next step in our 10-year strategic plan of where we hope to be or where we want to be. And so when we say it is a year of prosperity for partnership for prosperity and impact, we're not they told the Nigeria. Yes, Nigeria has a new leader now, right? Nigeria has the Fola, thank you so much. And Dayton, our cooperative people, thank you. Cooperative who actually walk around the clock. We need to really, really appreciate these people. Thank you. Right. So I was saying that we're not a cliche kind of thing where just says our year of undulating. That's not what we're doing, right? For everything we say, we have a clear plan on how we intend to achieve it. Now, we couldn't have done partnerships last year or the year before because we have not gotten to that level. But now we can do partnerships. I mean, I'm seeing that people have signed up for our cooperative and they're really impressive. Now, I must say to you that a few things will change. So please, House of Saviours now have their own Instagram handle, their Facebook page, and now their YouTube page as well. So please, the link has been shared. Kindly follow everyone on this call. Kindly follow our YouTube, follow our Instagram, because now the baby is growing, so it needs to move away from me. We all need to hold it together, Right. Yeah, I can't wait to step down actually, and now become a floor member. Right. Yes, that's the way it should be. Right. There's nothing that we have to do that it's debt that must remove it from us. No. We actually almost take ownership. Now, so in 2024, and Out of Saviors is a year of partnerships for prosperity and impact. So our goal is to develop our people to partner together for prosperity. That's one of the things we hardly do as Africans. I mean, when I got the news that Dangote Refinery had started operating, well, that's the story we heard. My mind quickly went back to $10 partnerships with Dangote. And that gave me hope to say that Africans can actually come together and do great stuff, right? Without messing it up with selfishness. When people start something, there seems to be, oh, let's do, everybody's excited until, I love to use the Bible where the Bible says, and Satan entered Judas. Until Satan enters somebody who suddenly feels that community money is his money, right? And someone say, oh, everybody put money together. Let us build estate. We're going to build real estate. We're going to invest in crypto, blah, blah, blah. Then Satan enters the person. Then he begins to use people's money to buy cars, to build houses. Someone asked me last week and said, Praise, how will it feel? I mean, the person was trying to maybe market me. Said, how will it feel for you to make, $10 million this year? I said, I won't feel anything. And I felt very strange to the person. Said, really? You won't feel anything? Because apparently the person expected me to be excited. So I said to the person that one of the trainings I've had in my life, one of the areas that I can't be tempted with is money area. Because my father did a very, very good job when it comes to money and handling other people's money. So I said, the me with ₦1 and the me with $1 million, you can't figure the difference. I'm not going to become very proud, arrogant, or now begin to talk to people. No, anyhow. No, money reveals who you are. So I was saying, man, I started lecturing the person that, that I'm a steward. And whatever you're given, you are a custodian of God's wealth. And so when people ask me, Praise, what's your dream car? I don't have. Maybe I feel weird. I don't know how many of you are here. You are like me. You have no dream car, right? If you are there like me, just type I. When you ask me, what's your dream car? I don't have a dream car. I've never said, oh, this is for me, what is most important is mobility. Let me move, right? So last year I was in Nigeria, and my office, they have this Toyota Camry tiny light that they use for Uber. It's part of their side also that they were using. Okay, good. I have people like me here, and so when I was in Nigeria, they just assigned the car to me and a driver to be driving me around. And I was okay to move around with the car. I mean, I was in Nigeria. In America, nobody cares whatever you drive or anything, And so I went for a function, and it was with a mega person, a pastor and all, and I mean, he drives a Prado. And when I got to the meeting with my tiny light, I could literally see the disappointment on his face, as in, it took him time he was a bit unsettled. And for me, I found that very strange and very interesting to say you can be unsettled by the means of transportation that brought me, that in Nigeria, when I had an SUV, if there was traffic and I was going for speaking engagement, I would get down from my car and get on Okada. Do you know how many churches I've gone to speak in Nigeria that I walked past the protocol and they didn't recognize me because it was Okada that dropped me? They were waiting for the man with the big car. And something is wrong with our society. We're just very sick. When we measure people by what they drive, by where they live, and that's why it looks like our society is a society of bullies, right? None of us can match Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett has used the same car. Warren Buffett owns maybe the largest jet company in the world, but he doesn't even have a private one himself, right? So it looks like money owns our people, or things own them, they don't own things. A car is a means for transportation. That's why I will never give a testimony for buying any car. Because when I was using my leg, I wasn't testifying. So why would I now feel I needed to testify that, oh, I've now graduated from those who are using leg? The people who are using leg are human beings like me. Some of them are richer than me, right? Or, I just bought this house and I want to put it on social media. It's irrelevant. I just want to live in a room. I can't live in 10 rooms at the same time, right? So it's important for us to understand that, we must be custodian of other people's wealth, and we cannot freeload and live on their wealth. That's where I'm going. That if you are a finance company and you are a real estate investment company and people have given you money, the money is not your money. You have until you give them their returns and their principal, your mind should not be at rest. I don't know how people can sleep comfortably when you know that you are traveling first class on people's wealth, that you have not properly invested, that the returns has not come, then you now begin to run helter-skelter. I mean, it's just, very, very sad and sick. So our value system is so warped, right? And so if a man of God can be disappointed at the car that brought me to his church, he's not worried about my content, he's not worried whether I was a fornicator or whether I was an adulterer or whether I had sin in my life, he was more concerned about the car. I mean, then it tells you how badly raised many people are and how our value, because we attach prosperity to the size of your car and many of those things like that. So this year, we intend to grow House of Saviours to heal from past trauma and trust-related issues. So we want to totally eliminate every trust issues that people have. I don't have trust issues. I've overcome many of those things. I mean, you can beat me over and over and over again, I'll keep bouncing back, right? But we need to overcome trust issues. That's one. Two, we want to develop our people's capacity to earn and invest together through cooperatives. So we're going to ensure that when it comes to finances, we'll take care of it this year, right? We're going to take topics and themes and bring speakers who are going to help our people earn more. Because you can't invest if you don't earn more. The first law in financial intelligence of invest is make more money, right? Make more money. If you make more money, then you have more the extra in your escrow to invest, right? So we're going to be heavy on that this year. We want to collaborate to start making social impact. There's a little we can do all around us. There are people hungry around us that we can support. My family supports a community in Nigeria. We send them food, and you can see how excited and how grateful the people can be. So there is something you can do with 1,000 naira in your community. You are not bringing Central Post. If you are in Abuja people can gather themselves and take care of some people. And I must say this, please, let's stay safe in Nigeria. This year, I was reading a story of a man whose family was kidnapped with 6 daughters. And then they set him free to go and look for ransom for all his children. And he couldn't meet the deadline. They killed one of them. And the guy is on social media, soliciting for funds, And then while he was soliciting for funds, the kidnapper saw that, crowdfunding is now helping people pay ransom. And they kidnapped a copper. So please stay safe out there in Nigeria. I don't understand why we can have security people who collect salaries and people are not safe. Maybe they could need to convert that money to crowdfunding or whatever, for anybody who is kidnapped, right? So we're going to help you develop your capacity to earn and invest through cooperative. We're going to collaborate to start making social impact. We're going to touch people. If we are saviors, we're not going to wait till next year or 10 years time when we have all it together. We're going to be able to save the people within our jurisdiction. We want to help people build a family that works and take responsibility for the next generation. So part of what we're doing in House of Saviours this year, we're going to launch an alternative session for our children, because many people called for that last year. So if you have a child who is 8 and above, we're going to have a session for them, which they can attend while you attend yours. We already have like 4 volunteers. If you want to volunteer to help us take care of that side of things so that we can raise our children also with the right mentality, please talk to our global admin, Ayo Lawrence, and then we will have a meeting with you. We'll tell you when we're going to launch that, right? And then we're going to standardize all our service group. We have service groups and regions. UK has gone nuclear. I mean, they are building their community and they're doing very well. We're hoping that this year we'll have a get-together in the UK for the UK communities, maybe sometimes in April. We're working towards that, where we can all meet, fellowship, enjoy, play, and stuff, right? And so we're trying to work that out. US is also doing well. So we want to scale a lot of things that we do in the US this year as well, Canada, US. Then South Africa needs to open up a little bit more. Nigeria has a new leader. Our new leader is Fola Musa, because it looks like everybody that becomes Nigerian leader eventually relocates abroad. So we hope Fola will not go during the year, right? And then we want to grow our citizenship to about 1,000 formidable solution providers globally this year, right? That's our projection. So we're going to need your support to invite people. We're going to need you to, the people that you love, the people that you think are change agents, we're going to need your support to bring them in. Now, our structure is very simple. We've shared this before. Our structure is the House of Saviours structure is such that we prioritize leadership. So our top leadership is not me. Our top leaderships are the clan leaders, really, because they are the foundation of everything we do here. So basically, we have clan leadership where every clan is made up of 10 members of House of Saviours. So if you are not in any clan, you need to check yourself, right? So the clans have a leadership of 10. The 10 are the ones who grow the system, because every leader, everyone in the 10 clan is a potential village leader. When your clans grow to like 100, it becomes a village, and then the clan leader becomes a village leader, then he has other clan leaders. When the village grows to 1,000, it becomes a city. We're not there yet. And when the city grows to 10,000, we have states. Ultimately, the goal is not for us to be gathering every Sunday morning. No, the goal, every Sunday afternoon in Nigeria the goal is for us to eventually collapse this meeting that we do every Sunday and make it maybe a once a month kind of thing. But the zones and the clans and the villages and the cities, we have autonomy to function by themselves and begin to change their world. The goal is not for us to have 1 million people follow us. No, the goal is to make impact. If we have 1 million people who are gathering every day here to listen and get excited and do nothing and don't touch their world, then we have failed in our mission. We are absolutely committed to our mission. That's what we're committed to. We're not committed to any emotions or any ego trip of we are the largest group in the world. No, that's not we. Nigeria has enough of that, right? And so, please, everyone listening to me, you're a potential leader, so make yourself very available in the house and make yourself, make yourself a savior, right? We're going to have some major events this year. Our first major event starts tomorrow, fasting out of negative thought, right? So we're doing a 21 days fasting out of negative thought. This is for all our community outside of House of Saviours are going to join. So 12 a.m. Nigerian time, the video drops on YouTube. If you don't follow me on YouTube, follow me. There's a video on YouTube. Every day we'll pick one thought that we're going to fast out of and one thought that we're going to install for 21 days. So if you don't follow me on YouTube, go and follow me right now. So that you can follow everything we're doing. So every day we pick one thought, we think through that thought, and we install a new thought, because your life cannot be better than the quality of your thought, right? And so that's why we're not doing fasting of don't eat food. We've done enough of that. Some of you are already on 40 days fast, but now we're fasting out of wrong thinking and we are installing the right thinking. Number 2, we're going to have about 4 subscribers, hangouts and opportunities. In our subscribers group, there's going to be a lot of opportunities of what is possible globally. There are some investments showing up. Subscribers are going to have access to that. House of Saviours Planet, which is the next generation, the meetings for our children. We're going to launch that this year. Summer break. Every year we go on 1 month break. So we're going to break in August. 1 month, we're not going to come to meetings, go for holiday, go for vacation, do whatever you want to do. Then we come back in September. Then Founders Weekend is September, I think second week in September. We're going to have a virtual conference this year. Then we are going to end on Christmas, Christmas special. That's how we end the year. Now, for our themes for the year, this is going to be shared in all our platforms, on all our platforms. January is partnerships for prosperity and impact. February, we're going to be looking at the gold mine of wealth and love. It's the month of love. March is building your personal war chest, business intelligence. April, the Black Billionaire series. May, we continue the Black Billionaire series. So you can see that everything is still up for your prosperity and impact this year, right? June, enjoying everyday wealth. That wealth is health. So it's a month of health. We're going to be talking about how to stay healthy, checks to do, annual checkups and everything. If you don't have health insurance, please go get health insurance this year. July, but not just health insurance, preventive medicine. Mind what you eat. Don't eat rice every day or apple every day. You know, you need to get nutritionists to tell you what is best. I mean, I used to have a bit of my tummy was big when I appeared home in December. Everybody was like, "Oh, what happened to your tummy? It's disappeared." Well, discipline is what we need. July, business across borders. We're going to dealing with a bit of exportation, export. August is Sabbath. August, we are doing no meeting. Everybody's going to go and rest, go on vacation. If you want to go on cruise, you can join us. September, building family legacy as an African. October, changing the world. That's month of giving back. We're going to do a lot of charity that month. November, supernatural intelligence. We'll take a bit of spiritual side of things. And then December, Thanksgiving and reflection. That's how we end our year. Now, special programs for our subscribers. Q1, subscribers do a workshop at the end of every quarter. So Q1, you are going to be doing earning Forex through export. We're bringing expert. What are the things you can export? How can you earn Forex, dollars? I mean, everybody needs to earn in dollars, kind of. So we're going to be learning that. It's a practical section, practical workshop. Q2, securing transgenerational wealth through trust, insurance, and other wealth building tools. Some of our fathers, when they died, we couldn't access their wealth. Like my father had some account we didn't know, had some investment we didn't know where they had, because he was the only one who knew and he didn't plan to die anyway. So we always say that there's a bank in Nigeria that bank is in existence and feeding very fast on dead people's money. That's where old people money kept their money and their families was not aware. So that bank literally sitting on their wealth. You know that bank, I won't mention the name before they fire me. Yeah, Q3, we're going to be looking at AI for prosperity and impact. Then Q4, breaking into the league of high net worth individuals, the template that works. So those are the first workshops for our subscribers this year. Our special event, we talk about founders event, our Founders Day, which is second weekend in September, building Black Wealth, the Savior Effect. Then January to February, 21 days fasting, out of wrong thinking. Okay, you will enjoy that. Okay, so today, I'll just lay a background on partnership for prosperity and impact, right? And why is this very, very important? Here are critical questions I'm going to ask you. Why did God create man with the power of partnership? So if you check the story of creation in the Bible or the Quran, God started by saying, let there be light, let there be light. There was light, let there be this, there was this. When it got to man, he says, come, let us make man in our image. Now, someone once said something that, got me thinking. He said there are two powers on earth, the earth's power and the horse power. Now, the horse power is the animal that can run very fast, so that you can run very, very fast, but even the horse will get tired. So you will run fast, but you will get tired. And that's why they say that, if you run very fast, you will go far, you will travel some miles. But if you travel, with a group with horsepower, US, then you will go very, very far, right? That there is a limit to what you can do by yourself. And that's why I always say to my people, normalize networking. If you are studying abroad and you are in a school and all your friends are Nigerians or Africans, I don't want to say you are most miserable. You have wasted school fees. The essence of going outside of your country to go study is majorly networking, not even the knowledge you're going to garner. It's networking, mixing with all kinds of people from various nationalities and building new networks. My father would say that if you went to school and you didn't build network, he said the degree you bagged is called BLLB. He will say it in Yoruba, that the same way you went is the same way you've come back. You've added no value to yourself. Because if you don't understand the culture of the Chinese, the culture of the Indians, and everyone on your radar, then you have wasted school fees. So God had to leverage the power of partnership to make man. Right? If you go for a meeting and you sit at the meeting and you left the meeting, you have not connected with anyone, it's a waste of space. Stop going for that meeting. Let them put someone else there who can network, who can connect. So you need to connect intentionally. Your call cards must be ready. In fact, you don't need call card. You can create a call card on QR code and people can scan it in any of the meetings you go for. You cannot, all these excuses that I'm an introvert, please perish it. If you're an introvert, then you don't need anybody. Just stay by yourself. Because many of us, we will refuse to network where we ought to network. Then when we now have needs, we'll now be looking for people. What if those people did not connect? So God made man with the power of partnership. Why did Jesus send them out 2 by 2? Power of partnerships. When Jesus was sending them out, why didn't he say, Peter, you have power, go? He sent them out 2 by 2 because, you see, there is no force on this planet that you can call a powerful force that wasn't built on partnership. Even demonic forces are built on partnerships, right? And so, in where you come from, they will tell you that, one hand cannot lift a load to your head. You will need a 2. Why did God give you 2 hands? Why did he give you 2 eyes? Why did he give you 2 legs? Nature shows that this planet is about partnerships. That's what nature has shown. But some of us, we are so fixated with our people, your family, that you never go out. So if God can make man with partnership, if Jesus can send them out 2 by 2, then why would you want to survive alone? Right? Why is every major political office contested for by the power of partnerships? As a matter of fact, if you study the IFA system, IFA is built on binary, again, partnerships, right? And the best network marketing models in the world is built on binary. Every political office is either governor and deputy governor, president and vice president, prime minister, deputy prime minister, because they understand partnerships. No man knows it all. That's why they have a cabinet. Why is every corporation or global wealth built by the power of partnerships? Check them out. From Microsoft, we watched that video today, to Google, to Apple, to BlackRock, is built on partnerships. And so, if you keep thinking about somebody hurts you in the past and you're not going to partner, then you are just going to lose out. Look around you, right? There's what is called OPM, other people's money. Many of you, with all the things they are not going to partner, you are still making other people rich. There is nobody that started anything that doesn't need people. Any pastor, every pastor needed people to go and do evangelism, right? Initially, they can follow you. After a while, you own it. You bring your family members. That's how these things work. Partnerships. We've got to do it together. And you know that it's easier to bounce back if you have lost 1,000 than when you have lost $1 million. If you have lost $1,000 by yourself, it's easier to bounce back than when you alone have lost $1 million. Of course, you can bounce back, right? So every corporation of global wealth is built by the power of partnerships, right? Why then do you think you can scale without the power of partnership? It's impossible. You can't scale. You're just going to break yourself down. You're just going to kill yourself. When I was living in Nigeria, we appointed a new CEO for the company, right? And I said to them, don't expect me to attend your meetings because I'm going to set up our American operations, right? And so you guys, if you want to die, if you want to sing, I'm not going to look back. Why was I doing that? I was going to be 6-7 hours away from them. So to wake up every morning to attend their meetings is going to kill me, right? If I have built them, if I have raised them, then they should be able to sustain the company without me. What if I drop dead? Won't the company continue? So a lot of us, we have been deceived to think that you are indispensable. It's not true. And that's why someone says that if you claim you are El Shaddai, you are going to die very soon. And how did I learn this? When I was 14, my mother sent me an article My mother does a lot of cut out. When she sees something that is inspiring, she will cut it out and send it to me. And that article, I can never forget. The title was How to Kill Your Pastor. The fastest way to kill your pastor, the article read, is praise him all the time. Tell him nobody can do the job like him. Tell him he's indispensable. Make him realize that he's the only one that can pray. He's the best teacher. He said, when you do that to him, he will no longer have time with his family. He will not go on vacation. He will not rest. Then one day, he's going to drop dead and he will be gone. So when I read that, what I was reading from it at age 14 is learn to delegate. So I made up my mind and I told myself, there will not be anything I know on this planet that I'm the only one who knows it. That I will empower and teach. So I'm a quick teacher. When I learn something, I'm teaching my people, because a candle loses nothing by lighting other candles, right? If we light other candles, then we can illuminate the world. So it's important for you to understand that you are going to lose so much if you are standing by yourself. We need to have people that we do things together with. And so when I see some of my colleagues that we started out together, they will tell me, Praise, keep your trade secret. Don't share with anybody. That will keep you perpetually ahead. No, I said no. There is he that withhold, right? And he abounds to poverty. But there is he that scatters, right? And he amounts to prosperity. I would tell my mates then that, you know what? I think I'll multiply my effect by teaching more people, right? And so even when I was in the office way back, there will be churches that will invite me. There will be government that will invite me. I'll send my people. I mean, Zuriel, I don't know if she's on the call. I'll send Zuriel. She will go. And when she goes, they'll say, oh, that your girl was so good. Praise, next year, we won't need to invite you. We invite her. I am genuinely happy for her. I mean, sometimes I will send Excel. Excel will go and speak on my behalf. We'll go to Benin. He will come back and they have paid him like 400,000 naira. I think that was the first 100K thereabout he was earning from speaking. And he will bring it to my office and say, boss, this is the money they paid me, you know. And he will say, I want to give it to you. I said, was I the one that went for the speaking engagement? I said, Excel, if you are playing crash on the way, you are the one that would die. So please, it's your money. The only thing I'll say to him is that buy lunch for all your colleagues in the office and make them happy. I'm okay. Right? So they used to look at me as one weird guy. And trust me, it wasn't as if I had money. In fact, most of the time they bring this money to me, I was flat broke. But I understood what is proper. How can you be a leader and everyone around you looks like poverty? Right? That is bad leadership. Right? There are things we do in the office that when they pay me, maybe royalty, I share with some of the people that we did the work together. Because it's not about me, right? There are people that you never see. There are a part of a system that is hidden, right? And so we need to learn to recognize them. It's about partnership. There is nothing that you are doing by yourself. So why would I amass the wealth to myself and say, no, it's all about me, everybody serve me, everybody worship me? No. Every time I'm going to Nigeria, I'm buying gifts for them. I'm checking them out. I'm looking at, oh, okay, it's your birthday. Okay, go get this. Give yourself a treat. Our people must have a sense of belonging. We must normalize empowering people. We must no longer use people to build something when their own future is not built. So they've given the best of their strength to you. You have not given them stake. You have not given them equity. Now you're going to raise your child to come and take over and rule over them again, right? And one day you're going to tell them, we retire you, and they will be confused and they won't know where to start their life from. That's one of the most demonic things we've done in Africa. Using people to prosper, and their life is worse off while we look better, right? So you cannot scale anything without the power of partnership. I have so normalized partnerships right now. So there are products I want to build. There is the element of the pipeline that I don't know anything about, and I don't want to learn it. I'm looking for people, okay, build me this. We'll make the money together. I'll pay you a percentage. That's how I've been able to do a whole lot of things, right? So we need to understand that 2024 is a year for partnership. So what is partnership really? Partnership refers to a collaborative arrangement where two or more parties having shared and individual goals work together to achieve a common objective. So you realize that the most critical part this definition, right, is common objective. That the objective must be uniform. So let us take care of our future together. Let us build a future of wealth. Let us build a future of impact. Let us transform our reality and banish poverty from our lineage. Let me say this carefully. One of the things I learned, in fact, one of the things I was meditating yesterday, and this came to me, that I was studying all the wealthiest families in the world. And I realized that the wealthiest families are not liberal. They are very, very conservative. And I realized that at the root of wealth is not liberality. At the root of wealth is conservatism. And the difference between conservatism and liberalism is liberal, you can do whatever you like. In conservatism, you do what you need to do, and they insist that you do it. As long as you are a part of this family, you cannot marry this, you cannot do this, you cannot. That's why it looks like their parents frown when they want to marry someone who is of a lower class. That's not totally correct. However, that's what I figured out. Because conservatism is what preserves wealth. To say we will do what we need to do when we need to do it. It's not about what is trending. It's about what we need to do to preserve our wealth. That's why they will put their children to take over the wealth, to take over the empire. That's how they preserve wealth. Look at the poor. You will see liberality. You will see a lot of religion. You will see a lot of funny things. They know not how to build wealth. And so I began to say to myself that one of the things I'm going to say to everyone in this community is that we need to make up our mind to be the deciding factor in your lineage, to be that person that totally changes the trajectory and build wealth for the next generation. And you're going to raise your children to be conservative so that they can preserve wealth. If you're raising children, every money you give to them, ice cream. Every money you give to them, pizza. Every money you give to them, in fact, they are even telling you, after they've eaten, let us go and eat out. They have never told you, let us invest. Can you buy me gold? Can you buy me this? I mean, when we're talking about Diwali, the last time, we realized that the Indians, every new year, they are always buying gold. So if you have children who are not talking about gold, who are not talking about investment, all they are talking about is that shoe, that whatever, you're already destroying them. At the base of wealth is conservatism, right? Conservatives. That's how wealth is preserved. It's not liberality, buy everything you like. No. So you see many of them, they don't even look rich, but they are very wealthy, right? So check every global family that, you are. That's why the Saudis, the Emiratis, you see them very conservative. They will tell you, this is what our religion dictates. You're not going to do this here, right? And that is how they preserve the wealth. But if you see the ones who blow wealth, who throw party, blah, 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 that's why many of the black billionaires, who made a lot of money from sports, after a while, you realize that they are broke. Why are they broke? The discipline to preserve wealth is not there. So they make money from music. They come to Nigeria and say 100 million, and they begin to throw it. Instead of setting up a foundation that they can track, because in their mind, the money is too much. The money too much, more dash gone. So they spend it. Then you see the person in old age is back broke. Because money have wings, it can fly away. Conservatism is what preserves wealth. So partnership is a collaborative arrangement where two or more parties, having shared an individual goals, work together to achieve a common objective. Once your common objective does not align with the people you're partnering with, run away. So there are 5 major threats that we must defeat this year on our way to partnering for wealth and impact. Number 1, compromised history. African nations have diverse colonial histories, which has impacted their development and trajectory and institutional structures. This diversity can sometimes lead to a challenge in creating a unified approach towards partnership. So there are so many things in our history. What you have been told, lies that they've sold to you, exaggerated stuff. Oh, during Biafra, Yorubas, they killed Igbos. During the war, or your people, they killed them, Dahomey. None of us was there. You know what I've done for myself to give me peace? I have told myself, any historical event that was told to me before I was born, there must be elements of exaggeration in it. So I don't take everything fully. So even if I read it, and pardon me, even if I read it in holy book, I don't take it hook, line, and sinker. Because we were not there. What if it never happened? What if it was someone that conjured the story? That must be put on the front burner. It's a possibility that someone is working on all our minds and is conjuring stories. We were not there. So even if you were there, what you will still interpret will still be subjective. So you cannot be living your life based on some history. That was how the family of the Lawrence, they refused to marry us. They went to marry the rich people, blah, blah. We were not there. And you are only hearing one side of the story. Chimamanda Adichie did a TED talk, the danger of a single story. You were not there. By the time you hear this other person, so somebody says, oh, they abused me, my husband abused me. By the time you hear from the story of the husband, you find another. That's why the Proverbs of Solomon says, to him that first states his case seems justified until he's cross-examined. And there's the theory of social bias. Theory of social bias says that an aggressive talker will be presumed guilty when he's on a case with a passive talker. So someone who is measured, who smiles, who is... so when the two people are interviewed, one person is aggressive and the other person is calm. Majority of the populace will assume that the calmer person is correct. Meanwhile, the calmer person may be the culprit. The same theory says handsome and beautiful people will always win a suit over people that are perceived ugly. Same theory says taller people will often win cases against shorter people. Light complexion people will win cases over dark complexion people. That is a theory of social bias. So many a time, many of the things you are told is not correct. Somebody is just creating a narrative to work on your mind. So I don't know the stories you've been told. They've told you, you know, don't collaborate with people with your money. Everybody wants to steal your money. Everybody wants to steal your money. Everybody wants, and that's fine. Believe it. If you find another way to build well for yourself, right? But compromise history, we must defeat it. And that's why I come to every table with equity, and I come to every table with trust in my mind, and I always check the motive in my heart. The moment there's an ulterior motive in my heart to say, let us make money at the expense of these people, I perish the project. Number two that you must defeat is trust issues. There is often a lack of trust among potential partners stemming from previous experience of exploitation and unequal partnership, especially in international collaboration. Now, please don't trust anyone fully at first glance. Without what can help you trust is the capacity to sign documents and to protect yourself. Because so I was going to do a transaction with someone, and the person is a Christian, and he said, but don't you trust me? I told him I don't trust you. He said, well, I said, because I just met you. I said, I'll be a fool to trust you simply because you said you're a Christian. Because the last person that collected money from me and didn't pay, you know, it was head of department in some religious gathering I was attending. And the person said, okay, I see. I said, however, what will make me trust you is let us sign document. And the person, okay, it was signing of document that made the person say, do we need to sign document? Ideally, actually, your word should be enough, because your word should be your bond. But it has now been proven that words are not enough. So we must verify. In the words of Peter Obi, go and verify. So we need to verify you. We can't just come here together. In fact, if I said to you, everybody, give me money, we're going to invest on your behalf, and you have not signed any document, you know, or anything that is binding on everyone, please run. Because we need to normalize agreement. So when anyone says to you, we don't need to sign anything, you know, just trust us enough. Yes, that's possible. If the person is credible, your word should be enough. And that's why, I mean, sometimes I collect money from my close friend. We don't sign anything. I have a friend right now. Every year, I'm supposed to give him a percentage of the money he invested. And I've done that without default in the past 5 years. Right? And so in fact, he has forgotten. One year he has forgotten. He said, what's this money for? I said, the return on your investment. We didn't sign anything. Ideally, that's the way it's supposed to be. But people have not been able to keep to that. That's why you must sign agreement. However, don't allow the fear of past losses to paralyze you in a way that you now totally lose trust on humanity. Everyone is not the people that duped you. Everyone is not the person that raped you. So you need to love again. Everyone is not the person who cheated on you. Everyone is not. So don't look at the people in your future with the prism of the past. That past should inspire you and make you a bit more cautious. It should not now turn you to someone who cannot trust any process. Number 3, disparities. Varying levels of economic development across board can affect partnership. Disparity in resources, infrastructure, and capability can lead to imbalance in partnership. And what this says is, and I'll tell you why this is critical. In partnerships, there are people who sit down and do nothing, right? They wait for every other person to do the heavy lifting and work hard. When it's now time for reward, they say, okay, let me put my money so that I can make return on investment. That's not going to work. And I think it's a very, very bad way to live. It's a very bad way when we say this is a community. Some people are working around the clock. I mean, at this juncture, want to appreciate Detu and a team. The cooperative team, those guys are not getting paid. They are joining cooperative like everyone else. They are paying their savings like everyone else. They are doing these things like everyone else. Right? Then somebody just comes from nowhere and says, you guys, what rubbish are you doing? Please, all of us need to get involved. That's something that a lot of our people, they never do. They cross their legs when people are working hard, round the clock, people are not sleeping, people are having meetings. We say volunteer, volunteer. I say, no, I will not volunteer, but I'm just going to put my money and do nothing. Please, don't expect everyone else to do the heavy lifting while you just sit and wait to enjoy. It's an act of irresponsibility. You need to normalize asking, what can I do? What can I offer? How can I support? How can I bring my expertise? So if you have a tech expertise or you know a software that can make it better, you recommend it. You show up. Not that you go and join someone behind and say, all these people are just doing rubbish. See, all of us are serving for free. That you need to understand. So disparity. Number 4, lack of institutional framework. In some cases, there's an absence of robust institutional framework that facilitates partnership. This can include legal structure, business environment, collaborative network. So what that means is, whatever partnership you want to belong this year, ensure you are covered. Ensure that there is agreement. Ensure that it is signed. See, I have people's agreement on my table. It is signed. This was what we agreed on. This was were the things we said. This is what we're going to do. So can you sign? Can I sign? That's the way it works. Everything you're doing in America, everything you want to join, you're signing agreement. So lack of insurance, we need to normalize it. And if you say to someone, please, can you sign? Based on, and the person says, don't you trust me? Aren't we Christian brothers? Okay? If you have nothing to hide, you will sign. So institutional framework, whatever group, not even House of Saviours, because this year is about partnerships and collaboration, whatever you want to get involved with, please ensure that there are documents. The last one is external negative influence. You need to defeat this one because there are external forces who come to whisper to you. The Bible says a whisperer separates the best of friends. A whisperer separates the best of friends. So there are people who are not going to do, but they're not going to allow the people who want to do. So they are not going anywhere, but they're not also going to allow people who want to go somewhere with their lives. So you need to beware of cynics. I always say to people, Psalm 1, that's the psalm for the year. Blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the ungodly, who does not stand in the way of sinners, and who does not sit in the seat of the scornful. So let me unbundle it a bit. Blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the ungodly. An ungodly person is someone, because the godliness is actually a system that is perfect, that protects all. So someone who doesn't believe in a system that can protect everyone is an ungodly person. Someone whose values does not align with your values is an ungodly person. So you want to build for the long haul. You are thinking, oh, let us build well for the next 5 years. But this person is saying to you, oh, I know something that can give us 60% times X. If we do it in 2 months, every month, they will give you. That's an ungodly person. Blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the ungodly. So anyone who begins to tell you, let us go and scatter the plane, blah, blah, who begins to suggest things to you that contradicts what you want to believe or what you want to align with, is an ungodly person. Who does not stand in the way of sinners? The word sin is the word transgression. Transgression is not even fornication and all these things. Yes, part of it. Transgression means to miss the mark. To miss the mark, right? And so, what does it mean? You plan to read 30 pages of a book, right? And then somebody comes to you and said 30 pages is too much. Just read 10 pages. Now, the person is suggesting to you to miss the target you set for yourself. That is a sinner. You are walking in the way of sinner, transgression. People never meet their target and they don't want to meet their target. They are distracting you from your focus. That is the way of sinners. Number 3, who does not sit in the seat of the scornful? Scornfuls are cynics. Cynics are gossips. They whisper. They bring out the negative in every positive. They tell you why something cannot work. Please, let me announce this to you. The head of our investment has just said to me, if anybody in House of Saviours does business with someone else and you attempt to defraud the person, we're going to take you out of our membership, right? So we're going to have a disciplinary committee that will hear the case and they will get you to even pay. It's not even getting you out of membership because we don't want anybody here who has the mind of defrauding people. So if you are going to sell any product to the community, just make sure that your product is standard. Don't sell substandard products. So we have quality control units. If we're going to endorse you and say, oh, this our person, patronize the person, we don't want stories that touch. That they sell this bad to whatever to me, and they call themselves House of Saviours. We are saviors. We are not problems. We are solution providers. We are not problem to solution. So you can't be in this community and be thinking of selling fake products or selling some funny network Ponzi scheme or that will make people lose their money, lose their ad-earned income, or you say, oh, we are selling one land and the land has no papers, has nothing. It's not going to work here. That's why you can't even come to me. I will send you to Dayton, send you to God's will. They will vet you. So you need to be aware of negative influence. We will do our best humanly possible to protect everyone, but beware of cynics. Because a lot of people have been talked out of their breakthrough by cynics. So you see someone that you love, you say, oh, wow, I like that guy. Cynics say, oh, it's a useless guy. He's not poor. He's not rich. Let us look for rich people. But the same person now goes to go and start dating the person. Cynics. Right? So you need to be careful. Make sure you don't walk in the counsel of the ungodly this year. You don't stand in the way of sinners, and you're not going to sit in the seat of the scornful. So whatever product you are bringing, we're going to vet. No sentiment. If it doesn't pass the test of worship unto God, we will not endorse it. So you better be sure that your product can pass the test of worship unto God. We're not going to take it if it cannot. So that's why our creed says, we will not offer to the customer what cannot pass the test of worship unto our God. So 2024, as a roundup, is a year of partnerships for prosperity and impact. And no longer shall it be said that we are out to profit at the expense of our brothers. It shall now be, how must we partner with our brothers and sisters to prosper? One of the things we've done, everybody that knows me, they will tell you, I don't do business with family members. What does that mean? I don't profit at the expense of my family members. If there's something I can offer to them that other people pay for, I'll give it to them for free. If they have asked for information or some things I should monetize, I'll give it to them for free because they're my family members. I will never look at a family member and say, how do I benefit from this person? Right? Even if I will do it, I'll tell you, oh, this thing is 2,000. I'm going to charge you 3,000. 1,000 will be for my effort, right? But ideally, it's 10,000 I charge for this thing. That's how I work, right? We must not look at our brother and say, this Dayton, how do I make money off it? Then you have a product that is like 10,000 and you now call it 35,000. Someone has done it to me before, right? There was and the person is supposed to be a mentor and my regard just dropped. There was something that was $8,000 and the person told me it was going to cost $25,000. And he was even telling me, you can start with 2005. And I was trying to rack my head until someone else I didn't know walked up to me and say, this thing is available on the American website. Go check it. It's $8,000. And I checked, it was $8,000. Then I started telling all my other friends, and the person became very upset. right? So we must collaborate. How can I support what you have? How can I help you? How can I help you scale? How can I help you build? So what do we need from you this year? One, House of Saviours needs your networks, right? So invite your friends over. If you have some networks that you think can profit our membership, please let us know. We want to really, really empower people to prosper this year. Your ideas. So don't sit in the house and just attend every Sunday. What can I do? How can I support? If you see any of our operations that you think is not good enough, let us know. If we need to pay for it, we'll pay for it. The person that is now, we have to pay, right? But think about what you can also support us with, right? So your ideas. We need your competence. So if you're an accountant, if you're an investment banker, we need you in the cooperative, right? If you are a standard compliance person, we need you there. If you're a treasury person, we need you in there. If you're a real estate mogul, we need you there, right? If you are whatever it is that you do that you think can benefit, if you like administration, we need you, right? We need your competence. We need your alignment, right? The Bible says that these people is one. Nothing could be refrained from them, which they have proposed to do. So we need your alignment. Don't think it's praise that is House of Saviours. We are all House of Saviours. And we need your partnerships. So it's a good year for all of us. It's a year 2024, and we're going to partner, we're going to prosper, and we're going to impact our world. See, it's somebody that has blood that can donate blood. And that's why we're going to prioritize ensuring that we all prosper in this community. We're going to make a plan to secure our future, right? Such that in another 5-10 years, thereabout, every member of our community can actually say they can live a decent life and they have something to leave for their children's children. So welcome to year 2024. It's a year for partnerships, of partnership for prosperity and impact. I'll see you next week. God bless you.